Garland with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. And giving us the rundown from the sideline, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Kevin, some people question the contract that Terry Rozier got from the Hornets in 2019, but 3 years later, earned an even bigger deal. He says, I worked my tail off because that's all I know. The money will be there. I'm more excited that I can just show my talent every night. What
a big man on the floor. It's Washington and Plumlee. Rozier. And for the Magic, the guard pair for them, Anthony and Suggs. It's Carter in at the 5. Greg, last offseason, the Hornets decided to part ways with their coach of the past 4 years.
Always a tough decision, and this is a critical time for Charlotte. They've got a tremendous young core. They think their time is now, and they want.
Banchero passes to Wagner. Carter kicks to Anthony. Back to Carter. That's in there. Anthony with the assist.
This is where Carter Jr. is most comfortable, in my opinion. Feels like he can score at will from there.
Hayward outside. Back to Ball. Now Rozier. What a tremendous game he played against New York. Shot clock at 6. Launches it. First shot, first basket. He's on the blocks fast.
All Rozier needs is a little breathing room, and he's firing that thing, and usually knocking it down.
Suggs dishes to Anthony.
2 minutes remaining.
It's still early in the season, and teams are still trying to figure out rotations. Greg, what's it like to play in a game like that tonight?
Well, for a lot of these guys, Kevin, it's all about jockeying for position, making an argument for minutes. And you want to earn the trust of your coaches.
Here is Plumlee after the made shot from Cole Anthony. And the pass to Hayward. Carter against Plumlee, down low. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. It's on Paolo Banchero.
Savvy play that time on the part of Washington. Got his man in an awkward position and then threw the foul.
Clark, hasn't the Magic had some of the worst injury luck in this NBA the last couple seasons?
Certainly have, Kevin. And this is a team that has been trying to develop young players. And they've been somewhat stifled because of injury. I think the best way to grow is through young players. And you've got to give them reps playing games. So it's been frustrating for Orlando to have these outstanding young talents be thwarted by injury.
The Magic shooting their first foul shot of the night. Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Ahmed Bamba, he's checked in for Wendell Carter. Isaac comes in for Banchero. Ross is checked in for Franz Wagner. And it's Gary Harris in for Jalen Suggs. Here's Rozier, and it's good off the back rim and in. Rozier's got 5 now.
Rozier plays within himself and doesn't typically force shots offensively. He's got a nice smooth stroke from mid-range.
And they've scored 7 times already here in the first quarter on the inside.
Charlotte, their last game, a win against the Knicks in New York.
And boy, did they impress everyone with that comeback they had in the fourth. Just stunned that crowd.
Now, here's Oubre. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Knicks in New York. They time it right. They can end this quarter with a 2 for 1.
And that's how you want to end the quarter.
Ross, that's good.
That's a case where this deceptive strength that Ross has helps him score over the defense. You can't afford to take this guy lightly.
Oubre can't get it to go. Magic leading by 5. Things really clicking for him at the offensive end.
They're making good decisions, not wasting these opportunities.
Magic foul. Terrence Ross.
The Hornets shooting their 3rd and 4th free throw attempts of the game.
Yeah, last year, collectively, only 74% from the line.
And, you know, whenever they get into a stretch where it looked like maybe they would turn it around at the line, they would immediately take a step back.
He hits one, then this is the second attempt from the free throw line. Passes it to Hampton. 1 second left, and we reach the end of the first quarter. Magic lead by 4. 2K Sports back in a moment from the Amway Center.
And your Magic Youth Dance Team.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for Orlando.
So far, they've moved the ball well, leading to open, high-percentage looks. Lots of assists in this one.
In addition to that, they've thrown their weight around inside tonight, too, thumping and bumping in the paint. A lot of their points have come from inside.
Fultz is out there with Hampton. Then there's Carter. Then there's Wagner. And it's Okiki in a power forward. That's the group starting the second quarter for the Magic. Right now, let's send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Thanks very much. Now, you may not know this, but Gordon Hayward was a 2-time Indiana State singles champion in tennis. He says, in high school, I was better at tennis than basketball, but I've always loved hoops more. Thankfully, I was able to grow throughout high school to get to the frame I have now. He has certainly filled out in the NBA. Kevin, back to you.
Yeah, he sure has. He's been a terrific player to watch and follow. The injury is significant, but he continues on. David, thanks.
For the Hornets, they have the memory of 2 straight play-in game losses hanging over their heads. That's a tough way to end any season. It should be fuel and motivation.
So for the Magic, Banchero's checked in for Okiki. Suggs comes in for Hampton. And Anthony subbed in for Fultz. And then for Charlotte, Gordon Hayward's checked in for McDaniel. Rozier comes in for Cody Martin. And it's ball in for Smith. And we're going to have a jump ball. It's tied up there. Clark, do you think losing a play-in game 2 years in a row has a lasting effect?
Oh, I think it definitely does, Kevin. It has to leave a bad taste in your mouth. To come so close to being part of the playoffs like the Hornets have is tough to handle and swallow. But it also, on the flip side, can serve as great motivation.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
All you got to do is get open, and Ball's handling the rock. He's going to find you. LaMelo's got incredible passing ability.
Anthony kicks to Suggs. He lobs it up. Oh, and they get in the way of the alley-oop. Not to be. Good play defensively. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Paulo Banchero. That's foul number 2 for him. For the Magic, Jonathan Isaac comes in for Carter. And Terrence Ross is subbed in for Wagner. And a switcher also for Charlotte. Washington's checked in. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
After winning the 2021 Rookie of the Year, LaMelo Ball was even better for his sophomore campaign. He continues to grow his game.
And for LaMelo Ball's second-year break, where did you see him improve the most?
I think taking on more of a scoring load. Ball's points per game were significantly up. But LaMelo also improved his three-point and free throw shooting numbers. So rounding out that offensive game will be important.
The Magic making a switch here. Harris is checked in.
You know, on the drive, Suggs can be a bit unpredictable, which keeps him, I think, a step ahead of the defense. You don't want him knowing exactly what you're going to do.
Now, here's Rozier. He has 5. Oubre against Ross. Pass the ball. Pocket 6. And it's Suggs with the rebound.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
Harris passes to Ross. We've got 28 seconds left to play here in the half. That one goes in. Isaac's got the lead up to 12 now for the Magic.
Ross has earned his reputation as a team-first guy. Excellent at distributing the ball.
Ball feeling it out a bit. 11 seconds left now here in the second. The kick out to Rozier. And again, the Hornets missing. And so it's Orlando up by a dozen here at the end of the quarter. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Coach Clifford. What was the biggest problem for your guys in the first half?
Well, you know what? We're a defensive team first, and we've been good defensively. We've been organized. We weren't that in that first half, and that's what we got to concentrate on to get the game going back our way.
See if you revert back to your form in the second half. Back to you, Kevin.
Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second half of basketball right after this.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hey, welcome back to the NBA on 2K Sports. This is Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is right here. Say hey to the folks, Kenny.
Hey, folks.
Say hey to the folks, Shaq.
Hey, folks.
Hey, let's get this party started.
Okay.
It was a closely contested first quarter for Orlando. They had a 4-point advantage at the end of the period. In the second quarter, they crushed it at both ends, cruising out to a 12-point advantage. Shaq, what's your take on Orlando?
Their efforts in the paint have really paid dividends. It's been a focal point for them, not so much for the other team. That's been the difference in the game.
And over to Kenny. Your thoughts on the Hornets? And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
And with a big gap on the scoreboard, the second half begins with very different goals for these teams. One side trying to mount a comeback, one side trying to protect their lead. Nice game. Great performance by Terry Rozier.
And even with the defense shading towards him on every trip down, he still finds a way to come up big.
Well, we're not surprised by that. No more than what we've come to expect of him. He can adapt and adjust to anything a defense tries to throw at him.
On the floor for Charlotte, the guard pair, Ball and Rozier. The big men on the floor. It's Washington and Plumlee. And it's Hayward in at the three. Feeds to Banchero. Throws it up high. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Ahead, and Ball slams it in.
Hayward, really an unselfish guy, willing to share the rock and get his teammates some opportunity. You know, after suffering a grisly foot injury in 2017, nobody would have blamed Gordon Hayward if he walked away from basketball entirely.
First team foul.
And what you admire about Hayward is his resiliency. He's had to battle to get back on the floor, and boy, is he still playing.
All credit to him, Greg. I mean, he's still contributing at a very high level, and just the sacrifice and the journey he's taken coming back from injury to be as productive as he is now. I mean, this is a guy you can still count on to get you big buckets when you need him. He's a real quality wing player.
Dennis Smith, he's checked in for Ball. He doesn't get the second one.
And this is something Suggs does not shy away from. Wanting to get to the line in these clutch moments.
Orlando leading by 11. Pass to Anthony. Orlando moving the ball around. Banchero passes to Carter. And the layup falls.
Really clean, simple mechanics. Carter Jr. shoots with a lot of confidence. Not much else the D could do there.
Here's Smith. The shot missing. Good work defensively by Carter. It's time now to hear from our Hall of Fame reporter, David Aldridge. What's the latest, David?
Thanks very much. The reviews have been good for the league's moves to eliminate foul calls on non-basketball moves. The NBA said it wanted the game to be played, not manipulated. Draymond Green says it helps to know that you'll have more of a fair opportunity as a defender. Guys can't just cheat the system. Kevin, back to you.
That's great to see, David. Thank you. Catching up on the changes for Orlando. Bamba comes in for Banchero. And it's Fulton for Jalen Suggs. And stolen by Wagner. Martin against Fultz. Bamba kicks to Anthony. Back to Bamba. That's in there. Anthony with the assist. Anthony's got his fourth assist with that last one here tonight.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
And on the flip side, the defenders have to show more fight on the interior. They've got to offer more resistance here.
Smith against Anthony. 6 on the shot clock. Outside, Martin. And the Hornets miss again.
And that was a little bit of a range check for him.
You know, guys, I think he's got confidence to shoot it from anywhere, but he could have gotten a better one than that.
And the turnover by Orlando.
Not sure what he was thinking about with that pass. Just sailed it right out of bounds.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group here. Jonathan Isaac, he's checked in for Wendell Carter. Okeke comes in for Franz Wagner. Ross, he's checked in for Fultz. And Hampton subbed in for Cole Anthony. And then for Charlotte, Kelly Oubre's checked in for Rozier. And it's ball in for Dennis Smith. And it's slammed in by Plumlee.
It's hard to decide which is better, the pass, the catch, or the slam.
There's no wrong answer. Sensational alley-oop.
Tell you what, you wouldn't know they're the team trailing when they're able to pull off plays like that.
Here's Ball. That one drops for him. Ball's got 6 points.
You know, because Ball is so skilled, defenders try to get physical with him, rough him up a bit, but it doesn't faze him. That rarely works against Ball.
Now, here's Bamba. Over Plumlee. It's off. And so, it's the Orlando Magic looking at a 13-point lead heading into the next quarter. And it's been their rugged defense setting the tone. We've got more in store for you right after this. And let's go back to a terrific pass that we're calling tonight our State Farm assist of the game.
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery.
And they'd love to see every possession end this way. True team basketball.
And there have been 2 very different performances from these teams today as we get going in quarter number 4. Banchero out there with Jonathan Isaac. Then there's Hampton. Then it's Gary Harris. And it's Okeke in at the 3 spot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic. Fires it up.
Okay.
No good. Now Charlotte takes it the other way. Hayward, left side. Here's Washington. And he drops in the layup off the glass. Washington's got the first field goal of the 4th quarter here for Charlotte. Teams nowadays tracking deflections in addition to steals. Were they something you were aware of when you played defense, Greg?
Even if they weren't tracked, they were valued. And I remember early in my career, that was something with the Knicks that would always emphasize, because deflections were a true indicator of activity, especially defensively.
And the basket by Hampton.
When you allow good scorers to get uncontested shots at the rim, no wonder you're losing.
You know, he should be getting extra attention from the defense, not less.
Good on the shot.
Well, he's an incredible ball handler. At 6'7", LaMelo can get space for a shot practically anytime he wants to.
Now a timeout called by Orlando.
Let's get a Magic fans. And please give a big round of applause for your Magic youth.
So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group. Bamba is checked in for Jonathan Isaac. Franz Wagner comes in for Okeke. Jalen Suggs is checked in for Gary Harris. And Anthony subbed in for Hampton. The Hornets also changing it up. Plumlee comes in for Cody Martin. And Terry Rozier subbed in for Kelly Oubre. Out to Anthony. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Magic lead by 13.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
If it's working, keep working. That's what I say. Keep the pressure on.
To the middle, trying to find Rozier. Gets it to him. Ball with it. Now Anthony defending.
Ball's got a little more strength than you might think. Able to muscle that time right through the aggressive defense.
And so it's Anthony bringing it up for the Orlando Magic. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. Game moves along. 2 minutes gone here in the fourth. Banchero, that's good.
And clearly, we will not be witnessing a spirited comeback tonight, albeit as exciting as that would be. This was an excellent all-around performance for the Magic.
Tonight, they did a great job of getting everyone involved. They had the good passing and that led to some open shots.
Solid play, definitely, Kevin.
And it'll mark their 4th win on the year. Actually, their 5th win on the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
We know familiarity breeds contempt. I would expect things to become more heated as these teams face each other going forward.
And while there was some nice performances tonight, it definitely ended up being a solid outing for Cole Anthony.
A big part of their success was his ability to keep the ball moving, finding guys when they would flash over.
2 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock.
Magic foul. Wagner. First personal foul.
That free throw, no good.
Shooting for Charlotte, James Bouknight, taking 2 shots.
And he's good on the second.
This is Unward Center.
On offense, here are the Magic. Leading by 12. Harris lays it up off the glass.
And you can sense that these fans, these players, they are ready to celebrate.
And I think they can start that celebration right now. I mean, what a terrific team victory.
And it's slammed in by Smith.
Yeah, that's excellent movement from Smith in the pick and roll. Really cunning and crafty. And excellent decision-making in these sets.
And so is Orlando taking this one by a big margin. Even early on in this one, it seemed like they were happy to be playing at home tonight.
And it makes a big difference. And once they started to really play in rhythm, you never felt like they had any doubts as to whether or not they were going to win.
And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long and good night, everyone.